It is that time of the year. I'm going to share with you my family's recipe for a proper Christmas eggnog. First things first, separate 7 eggs and place the whites in one bowl and the yolks in another. Not everyone likes eating raw eggs, so I decided to use pasteurized eggs for this demo, but I always go with the raw eggs when I make this recipe for my family. In fact, I'll leave a link to an article in the description box with more info on that. Now, pasteurized eggs are a bit more viscous because, well, they're cooked, so it's best to separate them while at room temperature. Just keep that in mind if you decide not to go with raw eggs. Pasteurized egg whites aren't as loose as raw whites, so we need to add something to thin them out so they whip better. 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar will do the trick, so will an equal amount of lemon juice. Grab an electric mixer or a whisk and beat the egg whites until they start to foam a bit. This won't take too long, maybe about 30 seconds. Then add a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. Continue whisking until you get stiff peaks. Now, this process can take a while, usually up to about 5 minutes with an electric hand mixer, and even longer with a whisk. But be patient, and when you're done, your whites will have transformed into a French meringue. It should look smooth and silky and kind of like a melted marshmallow. And the meringue, well, it should be stiff enough that it holds its shape. If not, you gotta keep whisking. Alright, put that meringue aside and add a 1/2 cup of sugar to the bowl of egg yolks. Grab the whisk or your electric mixer and beat the yolks for a few minutes until they're light in color and have increased in volume. Now, the goal with all of the mixing and whipping here is to incorporate air into the eggnog to give it this frothy and cloud-like quality that's just incredible. The next step is to fold the meringue into the whipped yolks. Start by adding about 1/3 of the whites, just to lighten the mixture so it's not so dense. Then fold in the remaining 2/3 of the meringue. This extra step just makes it a little easier to mix the 2 ingredients together. Once the eggs are all mixed together, add 2 cups of heavy cream. Then follow it up with 2 cups of whole milk. Give the eggnog a little bit of a stir, and then it's time to add the booze. This eggnog does not skimp on alcohol, so feel free to back off a bit if you need to. Start by adding a pint of bourbon. Yes, I said a pint. There's no need for top shelf, just use something halfway decent. Now add a 1/3 cup of dark rum. I typically use Bacardi. Then add a 1/4 cup of brandy. Oh, and don't forget to include a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, we're almost finished. Give the eggnog a good stir with a whisk or spoon or whatever you have on hand. Then transfer it to some sort of large serving vessel. I've used punch bowls in the past, but something with a lid usually works best. Just make sure whatever you use is fairly large in size because the total yield of this recipe is around 3 quarts. And make sure you get every little bit out of that mixing bowl because it's not gonna go to waste, trust me. Cover the bowl and place the eggnog in the fridge to chill for a few hours. It'll actually last a long time, even years if stored properly. Give the batch another stir after you pull it from the fridge, then go for the taste test. The whipped whites will settle at the top of the cup, giving the eggnog a frothy head. Finish the cup off with some freshly grated nutmeg, then dive in. Watch out for that eggnog mustache and have a wonderful holiday season wherever you are. Thanks for watching.